A congressional delegation will be heading to the UN Climate Change Conference taking place in Denmark. 192 nations are there negotiating a global agreement to curb climate change. The idea is to reduce greenhouse gas emissions to head off the worst effects of global warming. And joining us is Congresswoman Shelley Moore Capito, a Republican from West Virginia who is a member of the congressional delegation that will be heading to the climate summit in Denmark. Congresswoman, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Now, what will you be doing at the climate summit?
Well, I'm going to be part of a bipartisan delegation that is going to participate and watch and learn and listen at the climate change conference in Copenhagen. I certainly am going to be asking questions about what kind of economic impacts policies might have on the state of West Virginia or our country. And I'm going to make sure that maybe bring a little bit of an alternative view here, that we need to be investing more in cleaner technologies to make sure that states in our country are not disadvantaged under any kind of international agreement. And so I think there's lots to be learned, but there's also lots to be said.
Now, you have some concerns about emission reductions, correct?
Well, I do. I mean, I think that we can get to the goal of cleaner air and fewer emissions, but I think we can do it a better way. I'm on a bipartisan bill where we take money from leases off of the Outer Continental Shelf. We put that into clean coal technology, carbon sequestration, carbon capture, so that we can still use coal and other fossil fuels, which are domestic fuels. Those are our own natural resources that we're now dependent upon. But under some of the agreements and under cap and trade, I think would be very detrimental to states like West Virginia, and it would be also detrimental to our jobs. And so these are the issues that I have: jobs, economy, and let's do it a smarter way.
Even with clean coal technology, isn't coal doesn't it not have a bright future along these lines of emission reductions? I mean, it's not the cleanest type of energy, correct?
Right. I mean, I think coal definitely has problems because of when you burn it, you emit carbon dioxide. That's a fact. And I think that we need to make sure that we fund the greatest research and technology because coal is our most abundant resource. We have 275 years worth of coal yet to be produced and mined in this country. It's cheaper than a lot of the other resources, and at the same time we need to be incenting renewables, wind and water, biofuels, so that we can use that coal as the next until we transition to a different kind of an economy.
Now, there are some who say the science isn't settled about the causes of global warming. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, that's a great controversy, but I think maybe that the controversy may be beyond us. I would say arguing the science is probably less productive for us here. I think we need to be arguing the solutions. I think that common sense tells you that with a world population such as we have and the economic growth that we have across the world, not just here but in China and India, that we're probably emitting more than we have in the past. But I think we don't need to be hysterical about it. I think it's something that we can handle quite easily.
Now, as you mentioned jobs being a concern, is there any doubt that any type of agreement is going to cause higher energy prices for West Virginia and American consumers?
Not in my mind. I think the high price of energy, a higher cost of energy is a major concern. From the individual consumer, people on fixed incomes, from the manufacturer who are located in West Virginia or Virginia that are getting cheaper energy costs. Those jobs, I think, are going to be seriously endangered and probably sent overseas. And I think this is where the red cautionary flag needs to be waved on the international stage to say, wait a minute, we need to make sure that we're taking care of the American economy here and not jeopardizing it through an international agreement.
All right, Congresswoman Shelley Moore Capito, a Republican from West Virginia, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And now let's send it to Mel in Stanton.